this video is going to be about where coincidence stops and the paranormal begins. I can't say you're going to get any answers through it because I can't see that there is any. I've been looking around and trying to do some research, but what it boils down to is most people believe that coincidences do happen, but as to a reason why, nobody can figure it out. I've looked at some research and I've been looking for graphs or charts or some data, any kind of data set that I could look at to try to find a pattern to see where coincidences stop and a pattern occurs, or in this case, we could class something as paranormal, but there really isn't anything. Some people will say there are no coincidences, and I suppose they will feel totally confident and justified in that being the truth. But, just like coincidences themselves, the meaning depends on the beliefs of the person involved. Some people think it's a faith thing. They believe if they have religion and they have faith in God, then they notice these things and they're sent to help them. Another thing I came across was that you're more likely to notice coincidences if you're sad, angry, or anxious. I was thinking though, if we are more outgoing people, are we more likely to strike up a conversation with somebody who we don't know sat on a bus or a train or an aeroplane and find a coincidence between us? If you're a loner and you don't have that connection to other people, maybe you don't notice coincidences as much. To demonstrate how common unlikely seeming events can be, mathematicians like to trot out what is called the birthday problem. The question is, how many people need to be in a room before there's a 50-50 chance that two of them will share the same birthday? The answer is 23. Now, I'm not sure about that at all, because what happens if we change the question? What happens if we made it more in depth? Something like, how many people shopped at a certain store on a certain day at a certain time and bought a certain item? What are the odds going to be then? Totally and utterly, dramatically changed, I would expect. So, let's chuck a bit of science into the mix. Science and quantum physics point to the notion that everything in the universe is connected. Providing particular support is Bell's theorem. Proclaimed as the most profound discovery in science by physicist Henry Stapp in 1975, Bell's theorem postulates that everything in the universe is connected as an invisible whole. Experiments based on Bell's theorem have shown this to be true, and the reality is non-local. Einstein referred to this as spooky action at a distance. So I'm just going to throw this question out there. Make of it as you will. Could this universal interconnectedness, or as Einstein likes to call it, spooky action, be an explanation for some form of coincidence or even synchronicity? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure you're aware that my channel's a paranormal channel. Now, I like to do things that surround that as well. Things like myths, legends, superstitions, coincidences, ancient civilizations, things like that. But my favourite is my spirit box. I also use a normal radio, and I manually use a tuner to go between the radio stations. A lot of people will think, well, you're going too slow, that's why you're hearing voices. But my radio has a large dial. I did that on purpose, so when I record it, people can actually see how fast I'm moving between the stations. I don't go slow at all if you watch the dial. Now, I'm going to put a couple of clips up. The clips of responses to questions I've asked. I believe they're very good. I think that they're direct answers to questions that I've asked. Now, two things you have to keep in mind when you're looking at these clips is, one, is it audio pareidolia, where I think it says one thing, but you clearly hear something different, or even nothing at all? And two, is it just coincidence that came on the radio, the answer to my question, at that exact time? Anyway, I'll put the clips up, have a watch, see what you think.
Let's say bye. think you said it then. Said it, yeah. You could try to give me a name.
One shot. I've tried to be unbiased whilst doing this video, purely and simply because I want the truth. I don't want to lie, I don't want to fake, and I don't want to hype things up. The only way to get the truth is to keep learning, keep educating, and keep trying new things. So, what I've been asking myself lately about the coincidence part and the paranormal is, when I do a spirit box session, from start to finish the whole session, how many radio stations do I flip through? I haven't got a clue, but it's got to be a lot. In a 10-minute session, it's got to be a lot. Now, what are the odds that at the exact moment I ask a question, I get a direct reply? A direct, right, or meaningful reply? The odds have got to be astronomical. I'm not a mathematician. I couldn't work it out. I gave you the mathematician side. They believe in the birthday problem. I can't say I agree with it. I gave you the science side about Bell's theorem. Like I said, try to stay neutral, try to stay objective. But to me, those answers that I showed in the video are not coincidence. I know people won't agree, but I can't see it as anything else when I've gone through so many channels through a session, and at that one moment in time, I get a direct response to a question asked. It seems a lot more than coincidence to me. But you all have to make your own mind up. I would never try to force my opinion on anybody else. If you agree or if you don't agree, both ways are fine. Everybody's entitled to that. I hope to speak to you again soon, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Take care. Bye.